Hey, beautiful people. Happiest of, oh, hell, what day is it? Tuesday? Happiest of Tuesdays to everybody. Welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. We are here to go over 90 Day, The Last Resort. This episode was titled The Last Leap of Faith. This is season 3, episode 8. I think we're nearing the close of the season. This is my first time, honestly, watching a season of The Last Resort, like episode for episode to the end. So I am learning, but I do hope that you guys consider liking the video. I hope you consider hyping the video. If you have hypes left, I am newly monetized. I also hope that you guys consider subscribing to the channel. It is free to do. I don't encourage everybody to subscribe. You should want to. If you are unsure whether you want to subscribe or not, check out our playlist so you can get an idea of all that's covered and what happens in this community of thugs. But I am happy to be here. What's poppin', twin? Welcome in, Shani. I have to go check my TikTok. I think you sent me something on TikTok. I'm really bad about checking my TikTok, y'all. Like, really bad. Like, I'm still learning TikTok. So every time I get on there, I'm like, oh, what's this? What's that? I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I'm slow. But welcome in, Shani. Thank you for being here. Thank you for moderating. Thank you for being you. I was talking to my husband yesterday about genuinely like visiting New York maybe sometime next year too. And if I do, you're the first stop. You're my first stop, Shani. You stuck with me online and offline, okay? But we are here to go over 90 Day. Be sure, beautiful people, to drop where you are watching from. I am always curious to know where people are watching from. We want to get into 90 Day Fiance. If you are watching when we are no longer live, I still be commenting even if we're not live. Drop a comment, leave your opinion, something I may have missed out, or a suggestion for a show. Not just funny stuff. I'd appreciate it because I like to laugh. If we're not laughing, what are we doing? I feel like it would be unhealthy if like people just went throughout life with no laughter. And I'm going to say it before Shani says it. She's the first in here and she's ready. Shani, you've been ready all week. I'm happy to see you, though. I am happy to see you. Y'all, this episode did not give much. This will not really be the longest review. Rebecca and Ziad are still arguing. And I know someone had commented that I may be saying his name incorrectly. I mean no harm when I am saying his name. If I am saying it incorrectly, I mean absolute no harm. I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I'm just a Black American, okay? But Rebecca and Ziad have been arguing like crazy. These two, well, pretty much not even arguing. It's just Rebecca doing this. Ziad would be like, wah, 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 and Rebecca would be like, ah, and then she doesn't stop. But I don't think Rebecca means any harm. I think she's just annoying. And as for Ziad, I mean, this is why he told the doctor, do you see? He looked at Dr. Grandiston when Rebecca was going off. He said, this is why I drive to the next state. I got to get away from her. I said, not you got to drive to the next state to get away from her. But Rebecca and Ziad are still getting into it. How is his name spelled? I think it's Z-I-E-D or Z-I-A-D. I'm honestly not quite sure. It's one of the two spellings, but Ziad, I don't know. But someone had commented, Ziad, if you're watching or come across this, let me know how to pronounce your name, boo. I believe you can leave voice notes now on YouTube in the comments. Let us know. But this man is going through it, and I'm on his side. Because if I were with a woman like Rebecca, I would also get in my car and drive until I needed gas. And not drive until I needed gas and then, oh, I'm at half a tank, maybe I should fill up. Like, I would drive until the car ran out of gas, and then walk as slow as I could to the nearest gas station, and then walk as slow as I could back to the car just to stay away from Rebecca for longer. Now, I don't think Rebecca is a bad person. I just think she does a lot of complaining and griping, and she does a lot, and I just want her to be quiet. That's really all Mrs. Best wants. I just want Rebecca to be quiet and stop yelling at him and give him the opportunity to like finish a sentence. Because I do think Rebecca cares about him. You're not just hollering like that to holler. But I also think that from the beginning of their relationship, there might be some things that she went through that impacted how she responds to him. And she just has to unlearn those negative patterns. But she's doing too much. And eventually everybody just goes to bed, which I was happy to see happen. Now, Paola is explaining to everybody the same stuff Paola is talking about how she got pretty while on the retreat, this couples retreat that everyone's on the show. And she said she got cute. She put on some sexy like negligee, some sexy like clothing, something to get your man excited instead of you just being around. And she says that he did not make any moves toward her and she's tired of teaching him. So she had to get him to understand that she had that on so that he could come get some. And then when she did get some, she wasn't able to finish yet again. What is the point in getting busy and letting a man enter our hole if we get nothing out of it? Like, and I'm not saying you have to be the best in bed, but if you can't finish the job, sir, then pick up a toy and help her finish the job. Get creative. But it doesn't seem like Russ is really interested in that. And I do kind of understand where Paola is coming from. I shouldn't have to teach my man how to get me excited or how to get my lady parts moist. Like, it should not happen that way. But it seems like Paola has to walk Russ through every single bit of their sexual encounters. And it just should not be that way. Now, Cara is correct. Cara made a comment about Russ and Paola. I used to be like, they're going to break up. They're doomed. And honestly, after I have been rewatching some of the seasons of these cast members that are here, just because it's been a while since a lot of them have been on TV. Like Russ and Paolo haven't been here really since season 1 of 90 Day Fiance. So I went back and watched some things and it looks like a lot of the problems they're having are still the same. But Russ, if you want to keep your wife, you got to help her come. I'm sorry. I'm just, then if you can't make her come, that's okay. At least try to initiate the act so that she feels wanted. Because women like to feel wanted. I mean, I don't think that's just exclusive to women. I feel like most people want to feel wanted and desired in their relationship. And if you don't feel wanted and desired in your relationship, then it's going to make you not want to be in that relationship, or it's going to make you a bitch. Okay? I'm just saying, what Mr. Best got, what he's working with, when I can't get it, I get a little snappy. So maybe that's what Paola is experiencing as well. But Cara is right. She said if you just F her, she'll chill out. Their only problem really seems to be sex and the fact that he can't find a job, but it seems like he can find a job. He's struggling to keep them, but it just sounds like sex and motivation. I'm not trying to put everything on Russ, but a lot of it does sound like it is on Russ. Now, say what you want. He may have funded her to come to this country, but now she's gotten back into wrestling. She's funding stuff, taking care of their kid. He's got to do something, okay? Even if he was a house dad, you got to do something. House dads can make their wives, finish. So hopefully Russ figures that out. But even Dr. Grandiston looked at Russ because even he had to be accountable. And Dr. Grandiston was like, you need to do more, okay? Our fabulous doctor said, Russ, you need to do more because that's ridiculous. She's trying, even though she doesn't want to try. And Russ is just like, I don't want to go near her. You made me feel insecure. Sir, nobody knows what they're doing in the bedroom until they just get to doing things in the bedroom. You got to try to learn, okay? Practice makes perfect, quite literally. So I hope that he figures it out. But I don't think they have too deep of problems. I agree with Cara's assessment of that couple. Let me know how you guys feel if you're watching the replay gang on what happened with Paola and Russ, because people may feel differently from me. I don't think we're seeing everything with this couple, but I feel like based on what we're seeing, he definitely needs to do more. Shani says, if it's Ziad, then you are saying it right. I have a friend whose name is Ziad, and that's how you say it. Okay. Thank you. I think that is the spelling. Thank you. Because I hate to mess up anybody's name. Shani said, use your tongue, dang it. Maybe she's got one of those tiny clitoral muscles that's like hard to find. And I don't know. There's a lot, but it seems like Russ is just not trying anything, Shani. I hope he does try to do more. One can hope. Friendly reminder, if you are here, you guys, I do hope that you like the video. It does help the channel even when we're no longer live. Also consider hyping the video, all of those good things. I do thank you in advance. We are going to move on to Cara and Guillermo. I just like saying his name. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Guillermo. I love to say his name. But he's an asshole. But I still love to say his name. Now, Cara and Guillermo have been having all sorts of problems. Okay, basically, Guillermo is not happy with the fact that his wife is on OnlyFans showing her titties and her ass with some dollars. Now, Kara's making bank off of OnlyFans. I had saw like a post floating around somewhere. Kara is making bank on OnlyFans. Okay, if all I gotta do is show a little leg and show a little titty, and I could make that much money, I wouldn't stop either, especially not for no Negro that's not living with me. Absolutely not. You don't pay the bills. You're not contributing to your son barely, sir, aside from quality time. But it sounds like Kara is the main breadwinner financially for their child. So you don't get to tell me how I provide for the child. If you don't like it, put up or shut up. And Kara says she finna put up and he finna shut up. So, you know, their problems are difficult, but I feel like at the core with Kara and Guillermo, the problem is he's not okay with his woman doing OnlyFans. I cannot fault him for that. I cannot fault him for that. I don't think my husband would be okay with me doing OnlyFans, even if we was broke. He'll probably sit right with me in line at the welfare office, waiting on our number to be called. Now serving. Okay, that's what they do at the welfare offices out here in California. I don't know if it's that way everywhere, but you be there forever. And then they give you these numbers and letters. Now serving N7643 at window number 18. Okay. And then in California, the social workers ain't nothing, because sometimes you be walking to the window and they'll be like, the next number. Can I have time to walk from the here to the window? My goodness. But I don't think it's a bad thing for a man to not want his wife's goods to be all over the internet. I don't think that's bad. It has nothing to do with the fact that Guillermo is from another country. I think that has everything to do with the fact that he probably just wants his woman to have self-respect, and he wants her body to be something that's only for his eyes. I mean, I don't see the problem with that. I was raised Muslim, so we were literally taught hijab, abaya, all of these things are so that your body is for the eyes of your husband and just your family, nobody else. Maybe that's how Guillermo feels, but his approach is wrong. And I think that there's more problems in their relationship separate from the OnlyFans, because they had problems outside of that. But they seem to only keep going back to Kara's OnlyFans. Now, Kara says it's a need. He insists it is not a need, which I can agree. But I think the problem really is the fact that Kara was not fully honest about the type of content she was doing. Because when Guillermo, if we go back to earlier episodes, Guillermo was like, he thought that this was just going to be pictures. He says, she told me she'll take pictures and people will pay for it. Nothing will be shown. And then she says they separated, and she said, and that's when my tits came out. But then Kara also says a lot of stuff that don't make sense. Because you say that, but then you also say that you're doing this to fund your music career, which is not a need. That's just the want. So they're obviously not going to agree on the OnlyFans thing, and they need to figure out what the hell it is that they want to do. But I was happy that he finally explained that he cannot be with her if she's an OnlyFans model. And I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem. I wish that Guillermo would be honest about that from the gate. Like, if you know that you cannot be with a woman that is in adult entertainment, then stop entertaining this woman and playing with her and breadcrumbing her. Okay? And just be co-parents. That's okay. I get it. They want to fight for their marriage, but he's not okay with the OnlyFans, and she's not going to stop. She's not saying goodbye to that money. So I don't think they're going to make it. I don't think they're together in real time. I'm not surprised. It's unfortunate. I think that Kara is being selfish with the OnlyFans, but I also feel like Guillermo could do a lot more to support his family, so she doesn't have to do it. But if they're not willing to meet each other in the middle and compromise, then you can't do anything. No relationship is going to work if there's no compromise. No relationship, not a friendship, not a relationship with your mama, your pappy, your coworker. If you can't compromise, you're not going to succeed. It's never going to be just your way on the highway or in any relationship. And the people who think so are likely alone or in some toxic situations. And that's their choice. What can we do? Shani said, he got fingers, right? Can't find it with your tongue, use your fingers. Shani said, there's no excuse for this man. She is talking about Shani is talking about Russ and Paola for those who are just joining. Russ cannot seem to make Paola come. She's tired of finishing things on her own in the bedroom, okay? He got every excuse in the book. Shani said, no excuse. You better use something. Showing all my toes. That's the only thing I would do. People sometimes tell me I have nice feet. Like, when my husband sees a pedicure and he's like, I like your feet, they look nice, that's fine. But like when random people are saying that when my toes are out in public, I'm like, how much do you like my feet? Would you be willing to give me $20 for a photo of them? I would get into the foot modeling if I could figure out how. I really would. F this degree, F it all. Let me go show my toes and wiggle them. Shout out to my nail lady, Katrina. Um, Shani said, that's right. Sitting at the public assistance office telling them you both need some food stamps. Tell them, Brother Joe. Yeah, my husband will have me waiting in line before I'm out there showing my goods for money. And I respect that. It shows that he has respect for me and wants me to have respect for myself. And so I think that's the thing with Cara and why I'm not like just villainizing Guillermo. I know a lot of women are like, you're not going to pay. She could do what she wants. And there's also a lot of women who know how to make some extra dollars without turning to OnlyFans, the strip club, or walking the track, as quiet as this kid. So, you know, there's that. But what can we do? What can we do? Shani said, this is sounding like Lance and Diamond from the movie The Players Club. I love that movie. I love that movie. I absolutely love that movie. Classic movie. Classic movie. I'm BET play it too much. And I don't know why they would play a movie like that because you got to edit and bleep out so much, but it's a great movie. Great movie. Let's see what else I got in my notes because there wasn't much this episode, y'all. Later on in the tent, Cara and Guillermo are laying down and she's trying to lay close to him because it's cold as hell in England and they're outside sleeping in a tent uncomfortable. That's me. I'm laying on the ground. No, I got a man here. His chest is my pillow and, you know, we going to make it work. But you know, Guillermo flips out about being close to Cara and literally takes their shoes and their backpacks and builds like a physical wall so that like she can't roll over and touch him or anything crazy like that. And I'm kind of looking at her like, really? Is that serious to you to like not be with this woman? Y'all could not have told us in more words that you're just here for a check by him doing that. And eventually he offered his hand for her to hold. I'm like, that's what you're doing? You're going to offer your hand? Like, just say that you don't want to be with her. Stop playing this game, Guillermo. Like, I genuinely don't understand it. Man up and say that you don't want her. And maybe he feels obligated to be with her because she's how he got to this country. But you came on a K-1 visa for love, okay? If it didn't work, you can either go back home or you can stay. You're not shackled by her, Guillermo. My goodness. But I thought that was odd. I feel like he needs to just leave her alone, and things like this that he does, in my opinion, are cruel and unusual. You don't have to make this woman feel like she's not wanted or not good enough. Like, to me, that's stupid. It makes no sense. You building a shoe and a clothing wall between us. This dude sounds like that Egyptian dude from 90 Days. Oh, Mido. I'm going to be doing that review right after this review. And my God, I just got hot, y'all. I haven't eaten today, so I'm probably fighting for my life right now. But I'm going to eat in between reviews, y'all. I'm going to eat in between reviews. Now, after all of this happens, the next day, we learn that the group is going to be doing something called abseiling. We saw abseiling on Before the 90 Day with Elise and that man. She was acting like she was being unalived. But abseiling is essentially like rappelling down mountains and hills. It seems like hiking with rappelling. I'm not quite sure on what that is. I would like to try it one day. I do like crazy activities like jumping off of cliffs into water and, you know, free falling, bungee jumping. I like things like that because I'm weird. I don't know why. I always feel like I've accomplished something if I could jump off a cliff of some sort. But the group is going to be abseiling. Now, Shekinah has lived several lives, okay? In addition to Shekinah being somebody who is well known or familiar with like wilderness, outdoor activities, things like that, she lets us know that she was in Cambodia because Sarker was like, you were just killing bugs with no problem. And Shekinah said she lived in Cambodia for some time. And when she was in Cambodia, she lived in huts and she used to have to kill bugs and put water on herself and all sorts of stuff. I find that interesting. I wish Shekinah would share more of this side of herself than this new plastic shallow version. Because I know people love to hate on Shekinah. And I get it. I don't really care for her either. I felt like the comment that she made about people going back to their country was negative, ignorant, and everything wrong with, I'm sorry, white America, because she found every way to make it okay for her to make that statement when it's not okay for her to make that statement. But Shekinah can be likable if she focused less on the shallow stuff, if she were more secure in herself, if she'd take off this doggone wig, and if she would talk about herself versus like the men and her disdain for other people. I feel like she's just been looking for a reason to dislike people on the cast. And the energy that you put out is the energy that you receive back. I truly believe that. And she kind of has put out nothing but negative, judgmental energy since she's been on the show. Now, I don't want to say that that's how she is in real life, because we have to understand that editing does impact how a lot of these people are on TV. But when she does stuff like what she did in the tent, she says to Sarper, "We're really alienated. Everyone hates us." And it's like, you're trying to convince Sarper that no one wants you guys there. They don't want you there. They like Sarper. They can't stand you, Shekinah. And the reason they can't is because you have been a little bit of a bitch to everybody for no reason, or when things are good, you take them to a point where they become negative. You're always talking about people, worried about what people are doing, worried about what people are saying. Like, Shekinah just does too doggone much, in my personal opinion. And I want her to stop, because she's in her own way. She's literally in her own way. Now, the group ends up doing the abseiling, and what the doctor and the wilderness expert end up doing is they separate the group into teams. Now, the teams are going to have 2 couples per team, so a total of 4 people. 2 people from each relationship, or 1 person from each relationship, is going to be doing the abseiling, like rappelling down. And then you have 2 people who are going to be kind of guiding them on what they need to do, where they need to go, all of that type of stuff. Now, Sarper, Shekinah, Thais, and Patrick, for whatever reason, were coupled together, because while they hating on each other, Sarper and Shekinah ain't together in real time, and Patrick and Thais ain't together in real time. So they hating on each other, but neither of these heifers can keep a man. Look at it. And neither of these men can keep their women, because nobody's with each other. It makes no sense. But they're doing the abseiling, and Patrick was trying to like direct Thais, and it just was not working. I feel like the way that Patrick was directing Thais and how like it wasn't the greatest job. I don't feel like they communicate well. And he kind of gave up and left Thais in Sarper's hands. That was a bitch move, Patrick, but I digress. And so, Sarper ends up helping Thais after Shekinah gives him some instruction that was useful. And so he helps Thais to get down as well. Mind you, they are on a team together, so him helping her is not a bad thing. But in the case of couples therapy, it is a little negative, because it should have been Patrick to guide her. However, I was happy to see 2 people who have not been getting along, still willing to help each other. Now, Sarper gets down to the bottom, and Shekinah looked so bothered by the fact that that Sarper helped Patrick and Thais. And she goes, "Why would you help them?" And he's like, we're on the same team. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, "I feel like you're a traitor. You're not loyal. Your husband is not loyal, because he is helping a person who's on the same team as him to do what they are both supposed to do, which is rappel to the bottom. That doesn't make your husband a traitor. That'd be like if I called my husband a traitor because he helped a coworker who's a female at his job. Like, that is not a traitor. That is not a traitor. The fact that Shekinah did all of that is crazy. I want the doctors to call out her bullshit, because I don't feel like they're calling out Shekinah's stuff. I feel like they're calling out Russ. They're calling out Guillermo. They're calling out the men, but I don't feel like the doctors are giving the energy to the women that they need. Like, Shekinah and Rebecca need to be told about themselves by a professional, a licensed professional. And I feel like they're so focused on other stuff, because for her to come down and be upset at Sarper for helping is crazy. That make me think, in real time, they're not together, but Sarper is doing comedy shows, and he's giving all of the proceeds to Jenny and Submit so that they can get Jenny the help she needs for her ALS. I bet you Shekinah was probably like, absolutely not. Like, if you're that insecure, you don't need to date anybody, Shekinah. And after so many failed relationships and problems, you need to look at yourself, because you're definitely the problem in your relationships. One, you are what you attract. So everything you complain about when it comes to Sarper is probably some shit that aligns and relates to you. And then two, you keep entering situations that are not good and in the same way, very toxic and negative. It can't be that everyone else is the problem, Shekinah. You contribute in some way. I'm not going to attack this lady and come down on her fully as a person. I don't know her. I didn't really care for her season of 90 Day either, so I've never been the biggest fan, but I have no reason to dislike her. I just want her to see and look within herself to understand you are a product of the problem as well. Okay, because she kind of loves to find somebody else to place blame on, but she needs to start being accountable for herself. But that was where the episode ended, y'all. We did not have much. It's a 25-minute live. I am so sorry that it is not longer, but for my replay gang, this should be an easy video for you guys to watch. Let me catch Shani's comment. First, I don't want to slide down no rocky ass hill and scrape up my butt. And second, I can't swim. I'm good on this. I'll watch you. I'll take pictures and videos for you. You go on ahead. Oh, you can't swim. I didn't know that. Shani, you got to learn how to swim, girl. Come on, Black people. We got to do better. We should absolutely know how to swim. We should know how to swim. Whenever I see you, Shani, I'm finna get your ass in the pool and I'm gonna help you. We're gonna have you kicking your feet. We're gonna at least get you doing the doggy paddle. Or at least get you how to tread water. I remember for years I was scared to learn how to swim because I actually did almost drown in the Russian River up here in California. And it scared the crap out of me. So I didn't like swim I would wade in the water to cool down, but I didn't like really like swim for a minute until 16 when I met my husband. And then we was at the beach and he's like, nah, you gonna have to swim. Oh, Lord. My husband's actually the person who helped me to feel like a confident swimmer. So shout out to Also Best for that. She said, girl, I have my own life vest. I bought it from Dick's Sporting Goods and I travel with it. Honestly, that's brilliant. If you can't swim, you should travel with a life jacket. You should absolutely travel with a life jacket. I don't understand why anyone who could not swim would not do that, but I'm happy that you value your life. I am. She said, I ain't playing with these waters on this planet. Right. Our Earth is 70% water. We got to know how to swim or at least have a life vest, something. But that is it, beautiful people. I'll be live again in 13 minutes to do 90 Day Fiance. We are going to get into that. Love and light to everybody. 90 Day Fiance, it was an interesting episode. So there will be a lot to talk about. I'll be doing that after this live in about 10 minutes. But I appreciate everybody who made it to the end of this video. Let me know how you felt, replay gang. A strong thug life with lots of love and positive energy to everybody. And I will see y'all on the next live. Shout out to Shani for being here. Enjoy your food and au revoir.